Fairfield Federal, in cooperation with Interphase Video, presents the Lancaster Festival, live from downtown. Also brought to you by the Frank E. Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield DD, Buckeye Toyota, Fair Hope Hospice, Walker Shoe Center, Personal Touch Party Rentals, Fairfield Parks, Buckeye Lake Marina, and Dagger Law.
Hello friends, and welcome to Lancaster Festival Live. I'm Paul Jasson. We are doing the Thursday edition downtown under the Personal Touch Party tent. Fortunate to be here today as we can look out and see the fountain. There was a little back and forth before we went on because, again, we're doing this live today. So there was some question, well, will we have some rain? Will we not? Because, you know, there's always some pop-up showers. But so far, keep your fingers crossed, it's holding out. We've got some music across the way with the festival ensemble playing. We'll hear from them later. So as of right now, still plenty of time to come down, get lunch, have something. All the food trucks are open. Everything is rolling behind us. So, so far, another great day here for the Lancaster Festival. And again, this is our Thursday edition. We'll be back tomorrow to wrap up our live portion. Let's get things moving today on the Thursday edition. And I guess this is kind of the way it is. Thursday, we have Mary Snyder with us from Fairfield Federal. Thursday seems to be your day. You think that's right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Thursday.
Happy to be here.
So, and I think we're going to have the mayor on later, but we might have to get him a GPS to get here. We know you know the way, but we're not so sure. Okay, well, good. So it's the Lancaster Festival week. We can begin by looking back on Art Walk Friday, and I know that Fairfield Federal always does a bang-up job with. They've always had tubs of water up there they hand out, and usually something else. Was that the case last Friday?
Yeah, we had a special treat. We had cake pops.
Cake pops?
Yeah.
Is that a kid's treat, I'm guessing?
No, that's anybody's treat.
Okay.
It's just a round ball of cake on a stick.
You made those?
No, I did not. Clear Creek Bakes and Cakes.
Okay, very good.
Did a great job.
They were popular?
They're very
Did you
popular.
run out?
Oh, of course.
Really?
Yeah. We had a great crowd.
Bigger order next year, huh?
Right.
And it wasn't, and some years when you've handed out water, that's been a blessing because I know a couple years down here it has been brutal on a Friday night. But this Friday night, beautiful night,
yeah, we had
breeze, it was wonderful. So, and who are your artists up there?
We have Jim Gherkin, who we've had for the past several years.
Does such
and,
great work.
John Mark.
John Mark. Dr. Mark.
Yes,
yeah.
Dr. John Mark.
Again, maybe I've mentioned this. I had Ed Kitchen on yesterday, and I mentioned that about art. And there's, you know, probably 40, 50 places around the community now with artwork for Art Walk. And my standard is if I see something and I could do that, then that's probably not art because I have zero talent. And there have been years I've been places where I could probably do that, so we won't do that. But somebody like Ed Kitchen or Jim Gherkin, unbelievable talent. I've had Jim do a house for her daughter. She bought a house over on Lake Street, and I got him to get, but boy, his work is just.
Yeah, they have a lot of talent.
Oh, I bet the people love to see it because they're there every year, and he always has new stuff up. I imagine he does pretty well there. Yeah. So it's the Lancaster Festival. Fairfield Federal, right in the heart of everything right here where it's all going on. So I assume you get to attend many events for the Lancaster Festival.
I have the best seat downtown. My office is right beside the gazebo, so I get to hear every noontime concert. And it's air conditioned. Don't have to worry about rain.
That's excellent. Very good. Now, are you able to get out to, say, Andy Grammer or intend to going on Sheryl Crow, do much stuff like that?
Of course, yeah. We wouldn't miss the Saturday concerts. Andy Grammer was amazing.
Like him?
And we're looking forward, of course, to Sheryl Crow. I think that's going to be a great evening.
Well, like I think Deb said, she's like a 9-time Grammy Award winner. I mean, I can remember when Deb announced her, she was almost floating on cloud 9. She was so excited to have somebody, you know, that's truly a big name.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you get to any of the Rock the Pop or the last night, the Pipers?
Well, you know, our family had a little bit higher priority.
Than the Lancaster Festival? What is wrong with you?
We have a new grandson.
Congratulations.
Who was born on Tuesday in Cleveland. So that's where we've been for the last couple of days. Yeah.
And is it a little boy?
It's a nice big little boy. He's almost 10 pounds.
Almost 10 pounds.
Yeah.
What's his name?
His name is Miles. Miles Joseph.
M-Y?
M-I.
M-I. Well, very good. And I imagine John is pretty excited.
Oh, he's pretty much on cloud nine, as we all are.
I can imagine. The mom and baby Miles are doing well.
Doing very well.
And they live up in Cleveland.
Yeah.
So you've had again. I can see where that'd be a higher priority than handing out cake pops.
Right.
You're lucky it didn't occur on Friday, I guess.
Yeah.
When was that? Was that last night or a couple nights ago?
On Tuesday.
Tuesday night. So I guess on the road again. Going to go back up soon?
Oh, we hope so. Yeah. As much as we can.
After Sheryl Crow.
Right.
After Sheryl Crow. Well, very good. My guest is Mary Snyder. Mary is the president across the street here at Fairfield Federal. And how are things at Fairfield Federal? Running like a Swiss watch?
Of course.
Of course.
Always.
Always. So good. I know I talked to some people in there that I met, and I see Carrie James a good bit, and a good staff in there. It's a good
we
staff.
do. We have great people.
Yeah, and everybody's working hard at all your branches, and yeah.
Of course.
I can remember when you originally opened that first branch up in Pickerington. That was out nowhere, and then by the time you got rid of it, I think pharmacy or somebody bought it. My golly, that place was in the middle of everything.
Well, we're still up there, just down the street.
Yeah, but not in that location.
Right.
That location's now in the middle of everything.
It was just cornfields around us at that time when we opened.
Well, enjoy the rest of the festival, and congratulations to you and John on your new grandson, Miles. What a very cool festival present that is. Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Mary Snyder with us from Fairfield Federal. The Red Hot Chili Pipers revved up the crowd at Ohio University's Wendell concert stage last night, and for your enjoyment, here's a little taste of that concert.
Just a small town girl, living in a lonely bar. She took a midnight train, going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in. Wow. Took a midnight train, going on and on, on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. Shadows searching through the night. Streetlight people living just a final motion, hiding somewhere in the Lancaster. You take it. Don't stop. Streetlight people. Whoa. Don't stop believing. Hold on to the feeling. Everybody, after three, we want to see you jumping. 3.
The Red Hot Chili Pipers, thanks to Buckeye Lake Marina for bringing that highlight to you. And if you're looking for a new boat, a great pre-owned watercraft, or a place to get parts for your boat, Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Learn more at buckeyeLakeMarina.com. We are downtown Lancaster Festival Live under our, again, personal touch party tent, looking at the beautiful fountain here that is in full bloom for the festival. Never looked better. Lots of good PR down here. The park where we are, right next to City Hall, is just beautiful this time of year. Lots of flowers out. Everything looks great. The parks in the city do such a great job of keeping that going. Speaking of the city, although we won't talk about probably very much of that, We've got Fairfield DD Superintendent David Uhl. David, welcome.
Thank you, Paul. Good to see you.
Glad to have you here. Of course, we always got that in our hip pocket, the city council thing.
Well, yes, sure.
There's always tons to talk about there.
For five months and 2 weeks.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm
Things change?
not running again.
I
yeah,
understand. I understand.
8 years, a long time.
As much fun as you can stand.
Oh, I'll tell you what.
So let's talk about Fairfield DD, and I guess right now with what's going on down here, Art and Clay is where it's at.
Yeah, Fairfield DD's proud to be a part of the festival through all the events, whether it's Art Walk and just the thousands of people who walk through Art and Clay Square 7 that night, or throughout the week, and then even into the several coming weeks through the rest of the summer. Mitzi and her team down there have put together some phenomenal events. We have story time where I got to read a book called Roxy, the last Unisaurus, like a mix between a unicorn, and so they have like a little unicorn they paint. It's a ton of fun. Yesterday, they had Lancaster Fire down and had like Touch a Truck Day, and there were people everywhere. And you know, they read a story, they get helmet. It's just a ton of fun. And so there's that happening. There's like a Taylor Swift sort of paint your own thing coming up. There's a Christmas in July thing. There's a ton going on. The best place to go is the Art and Clay on Main Facebook page. Mitzi does a great job with her team of ensuring that all of the information is out there, and we've had events all throughout this week, and then even into August there'll be many events as we get ready to go back to school. So Art and Clay on Main Facebook page, where you find it all.
I can remember, and I don't know how many years Art and Clay here, but I can remember interviewing Temple Custer.
Yep.
And she was the manager, perhaps the first manager, but at least the manager down there. And that's been, I don't know, probably 6, 7, 8 years ago. I'm not sure now. But it was about the first coffee, just pure coffee shop down here. There may be for reasons, but that was more of a restaurant. But it was just a pure coffee shop. And I thought, man, I don't know, downtown, you know. And they started out with all the art stuff in there, making your own stuff. And I was pretty. And now, fast forward to now, and like you say, it's jumping.
Oh, I'll tell you, sales are phenomenal, and the city of Lancaster and the county has been so supportive of Art and Clay Square 7, and people come from all over. So it's not just around here, but we know there are people in contiguous states and many states across the country who have Easter eggs at Easter sitting on their mantle, or Christmas ornaments they've painted hanging on their tree during the holidays. And so it's just it's a ton of fun, and we're as busy, Paul, as we have ever been, and that's a testament to people like Temple. She was our second manager down there after Dee Dee took over, and a long-term manager, and then Mitzi Niswanger is the manager now,
does a great job
and does fantastic. So yeah, between the art and then the coffee offerings that we have down there through Square 7, whether you come in alone to stand alone, get coffee, or whether it's an added experience when you're there painting, it's phenomenal.
Now, help me here again with still the connection with DD.
Sure. Yeah, Fairfield County Board of DD purchased Art and Clay back in 2010, and we use it as a place now to really sort of be a presence for us in the community. As county boards have evolved and changed, we coordinate and fund services for people with disabilities.
You used to have art down there, right? And
yeah, that's right.
DD
We used to have
work there?
We used to have artists that had disability, but we've really moved to a model where we didn't want a segregated experience. We wanted an everyone participate experience. And so Blue Shoe Arts is what that would have been called, if you remember,
that.
right?
Boy,
and
that was very popular for a while.
It was, and so it was difficult for us to sort of take that and put it on the shelf, but at the same time, there's now a evolving out of that sort of an arts consortium called, I think it's, I can't remember what it's called, quite frankly, but it's a group of people with and without disabilities that are just working together to create great art and display that around the community. So that's what we're looking for, you know, as we talk about integration, working with people on their path toward greater independence. Art and Clay has evolved over the last 12 or 13 years that we've been a part of it. And what it is today is just a great place for anyone to go down. There may be some people with disabilities working there. We don't really make a big deal out of it. We're trying to create an inclusive environment of what things could look like.
That's what you do. Mainstream it. Everything is not separate, but everything is just one line.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do they have, and maybe you mentioned that in your talk there, do they have art for sale down there? Are there your people that have art or no?
So we don't necessarily have artists with disabilities that are displaying down there, right there. But yeah, but we do have an artist down there for Art Walk, and she's an employee as well. She's sort of one of our artists in residence, and she is she's got some fantastic like pottery and some clay things that she displayed for Art Walk. And then throughout, the year, there'll be maybe different exhibits that get put up. And sometimes maybe it's someone with a disability, and sometimes maybe it's not. And, again, our take is really doesn't matter.
David Uhl with us, David's superintendent of the Fairfield DD. And as I think back, as we talked about 7 or 8 years ago when the DD got a hold of that and started to move around and change things, I don't know that Art Walk was much, maybe it was part of the thinking back then, I'm not sure it was, but now Art Walk it's probably I would think it's your major event that people really notice. Square 7 and Art and Clay.
Yeah, that's true. We get a lot of right now we see, when you talk 7, 8, 10 years ago, we're getting holiday type traffic that we saw then. Like, that's just normal for us now. And so the thing has just really exploded. But Art Walk is a huge night. We have in the past cleared out all of the tables and chairs. We can't serve anything that night because there's just thousands of people.
What a nice problem.
Yeah, but we're right down beside the beer garden, and so there's a huge, volume of people that are right there, and many come in, they check out the art, they get a sense, maybe they've been in before, maybe they haven't, just an opportunity to kind of see what it is and what they could come back and do, in the future.
Kudos to the people that thought of that, because, when they bought that was kind of out there by itself. It was just something nobody had ever done before. I think it's somebody like Buckeye Toyota. They were out there way out on Edie Road.
Yep.
Nobody else out.
Cornfields.
Well, heck, now they're right in the middle of everything.
That's
out there.
right.
And the same with you guys. I never thought about the beer garden being right next door there, but I mean, people hanging out.
It's a huge day, and Fairfield DD again is proud to be a part of the festival through Art and Clay and Square 7. But something we've done the last 2 years now, given the crowds that are out at the main site, is we sort of pass along our parking and allow the festival to use all of the parking, including the grassy areas along 37 that's a part of DD's property.
Oh, yeah.
Our
I
DD
heard
parking
told
lots
me that
all
was
the way up and
completely
down.
full up the other day.
Yeah, and so there's we partner in that way. We want to be good community partners.
Yeah,
we love the festival. I love the festival. We were out last night. We were out Saturday. Andy Grammer was phenomenal. We'll be out this Saturday, and so it's just, we love the festival. We were out, we can hear the brass band behind us. We were at the Covered Bridge at Alley Park on Sunday night. I mean, my family just tries to get out to as much as possible because we love the festival.
Well, Fairfield DD, we're just blessed to have such a wonderful nonprofit here in town. They just do such a great job, and everything you do, I think of your banquet you have and some of the things you do in the course of a year, you're doing great work.
Well,
Keep
we
it
appreciate
up.
it. Thank you.
I imagine you love being the superintendent.
It's been a great ride. Yeah, 7 months in now, and we really exist to support people on their path toward greater independence. That's what we're doing every day, and we couldn't do it without the taxpayers of Fairfield County who help to fund those services. So we're very appreciative for that support, and we work hard to be good stewards of those dollars.
Fairfield DD Facebook page?
Yeah, that's right. Fairfield DD, Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and you'll find the DD Facebook page. Art and Clay on Main, you'll find that Facebook page.
Got lots of good stuff there. Find everything out you wanted to know. David, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Paul.
David Uhl, superintendent of the Fairfield DD. We'll be back on Lancaster Festival Live in just a moment.
The Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities is proud to support the Lancaster Festival. There are many different events and programs the Lancaster Festival offers for all to enjoy. The festival brings together many generations and provides ample opportunities for our vibrant community to connect and make lasting memories. Be sure to stop by Fairfield DD's social purpose enterprise, Art and Clay on Main, and Square 7 Coffee House to cool off and enjoy a handcrafted beverage. See you at the festival.
Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Our people make the difference. Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do. Stop by today at any of our 3 locations and see why the difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Mike Shook with the Ohio Glass Museum. Our museum was established to reflect the importance of the glassmaking industry in the history of Lancaster and Fairfield County. We value the support to help preserve that history. This month, we are honored to be chosen by the Buckeye Automotive Family's Buckeye Cares program. Buckeye Cares will make a generous donation with every car they sell. Thank you, Buckeye family, for helping the Ohio Glass Museum.
What makes Fairhope what it is our staff. It's always a question that we ask, why do you want to be here with us? And what they most always say is, "You've touched my life this way. You know, you took care of this person, or I've seen what you've done and I want to do that." And so the staff that have been here know what it takes. They've been on the other side. They see what it takes to make someone comfortable, to make the family comfortable, and really what kind of support they need. And so I think that's what really makes Fairhope what it is.
Welcome back to Lancaster Festival Live. It's the Thursday edition, and again, we'll be here tomorrow at noon to finish up the week. It's been such a fun time being down here. The weather for us has been good. There have been moments, of course, when maybe for the festival it wasn't all that good. Some of the evening things have had some challenging moments, but for us down here at noon it's just been great. So thanks for joining us. Pleasure to have with us one of the artists who were on the featured stuff on the Art Walk just Friday night, Jay Batters. Jay, welcome.
Thank you.
Jay Batters is our Renaissance man. Can I say that?
You can say that.
Okay.
Many
Jay
people do.
Okay, and I mean it.
Okay.
Jay Batters is one of the artists. He was right here kind of behind me now as I sit here in the Adam H. building. He had, along with several other artists and some of the high school art, they had their things portrayed there. And I guess I can turn around here a little bit. This is your work.
Yes, it is. I did this in 2018. It's molded plastic. I mean, it was molded. Now I deformed it.
Plastic.
It's made from the front end of a treadmill. Just the plastic cover that goes over the front.
It melted down and then.
Yes, I stretch it with a pair of pliers and use a heat gun to form it. I mean, to make
is
make
this
it soft.
kind of indicative of the things you do, kind of free-form things and recycling things?
Some of yes, I'd like to recycle anything I can get my hands on, pretty much. I have a big collection of electronic circuit boards. I'm hoping to make some animals out of it.
Pretty creative.
So I haven't done that yet, but I have a large collection.
But you have an idea to do that.
Oh yes, that's all. I have a lot of things in my brain that when I get time, I'll work on it.
So now you were here right behind me at Adam H. on Art Walk night, and I imagine probably about as many people ever saw your work as you've ever had.
Possibly. I chaired the show. We had 11 other artists with me. We called the show Simply Good Art.
Nice.
Because we're more traditional artists, at least other than me. Because a lot of people are older. We're seasoned citizens, as they say. Sure. And we like to work with younger people, give them any instruction we can or encouragement on how to, get into the art world.
Sure. Jay Batters is my guest. Jay was an artist at the Adam H. behind us for Art Walk. And I think, Josh, you've got some film here that you can show us. Jay, how long ago were you at the library, which is the inner things we're seeing now?
It was this past April and May.
April and May.
I had a show of 38 pieces.
38?
Right.
Wow.
I had the entire gallery there on the third floor.
Yes, you were upstairs?
Right.
Upstairs, sure.
So it was there for like 7 weeks, and I had Interphase do a video that I could use for other publicity.
Is much of it what we kind of saw here with this piece? I saw the stepladder early on with things on it, a lot of recycled things of all these 38 pieces.
Right, and all of the pieces, all the painted pieces are all made from recycled house paint.
I was going to ask you about that. So that acrylic. Even to the extent like we're looking at right now, that's recycled paint.
The clouds, which are silvery looking, was aluminumized roof paint. So I, use different things to get what I need, I guess. I mean, some of it's accidental. This was a drop cloth from a sculpture that's called, the sculpture is called Tornado.
Okay.
But that was the drop cloth underneath it.
So imagine at your house, not much gets thrown away.
That's right.
You can't throw that away. That's art. Don't you understand that?
Right, that's true.
Jay Batter is with me. Jay, again, an artist at when he was here for the Art Walk on Friday night, was behind us here. And I've been fortunate enough. Yesterday I had on Ed Kitchen. You probably know Ed.
Sure.
Yeah, Ed's a local boy, and he's right up the street here. He was at Arbuckle and Fair on that. And then we just had Mary Snyder on. She had Jim Gherkin on at Fairfield Federal. They have it. Are you able to get out and see much probably on Art Walk night itself? Probably not much.
Nothing then. I walked around a little bit this morning before I came here.
Is there any pieces you particularly enjoy seeing?
Well, across the street at the Chamber of Commerce, there was an abstract artist.
More your line.
Which I've been abstract's so much easier to do than a hard painting.
Yeah.
Although I've done paintings. Most of the paintings I've sold are actually landscapes or something more recognizable. My abstracts don't seem to sell.
Does this have a name, this piece behind us here? Did you give that a name?
Yes, it's called Ebony Flow.
Ebony Flow. Now, you look at that and you say you took a piece of plastic, melted it,
right,
and formed it into some
just by
different
stretching
form.
it. As it's hot, you can stretch it.
That's right. So you did that, and then eventually it gets painted black.
No, it
was black. It was black.
This is just straight black plastic.
So when you look at that, how long does it take you? Would it take you to come up with that?
Well, I just grab a piece of plastic and start heating it and stretching it and see. You just don't know what it's going to look like. And
what's the cool down time on something like that?
Just 5 or 10 minutes.
Oh, is that right? Pretty
quick.
I
mean, you're basically just shaping part of it at a time.
Yeah.
Whatever you can
heat it, shape it, heat the rest, shape it.
Right. And keep stretching it.
So is that for sale? Is that a piece
sure.
that's for sale?
I think I probably had $200 on it. I don't remember.
All right. So is it a good night for an artist to, other than, get your stuff out there and let them see it? Good night?
Well, I think it was. Yeah. I mean, we had some sales with the other people at the Art Walk, and people appreciated what they saw of mine. So.
Now, do you have a website or a Facebook page or anything?
I'm on Facebook, just my own personal page.
Okay.
It has a blog spot attached to it, but I haven't.
Just find Jay Batters and that's it.
Yeah, I haven't attached anything to the blog spot lately.
Okay.
So.
Well, congratulations on doing pretty cool
you.
stuff. As somebody that can't do anything, I am amazed by this. Congratulations,
well,
Jay. Thank you, buddy.
All right.
Jay Batters, who is behind us at Adam H. on the Art Walk. We'll be back on Lancaster Festival Live in just a moment.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Hi, I'm Carol Whittington, and I would like to invite you to stop by Personal Touch Party Rentals and Events, located at 1540 Hubbard Drive in Lancaster. We are a small family-owned business and have been servicing the Central Ohio and Hocking Hills area since 2003. Graduations with a personal touch, weddings with a personal touch, corporate events with a personal touch. Please call us today for all your party rental needs, 740-689-6991.
The Lancaster Festival returns for its 39th season, July 20th through 29th. Experience 9-time Grammy-winning singer-songwriter Sheryl Crow. Get tickets now at lancasterfestival.org.
You walked down the aisle and promised happily ever after. Sometimes happily ever after means ending a relationship. We know the conversations are not easy. Deciding what's best for you, your children, and your next steps takes work and communication. At Dagger Law, we know there are no monsters in a divorce, only people trying to find their way. Local, trusted, experienced. Dagger Law.
We are downtown Lancaster Festival Live. I'm Paul Jasson. Thank you for joining us. We are at the Personal Touch Party tent down by the fountain. Behind us, the Lancaster Festival Ensemble's playing. We'll have a clip of them a little bit. Good crowd over there watching them under the tent. And again, it's a nice day. There was a little threat of rain earlier, but if that's still out there, it's later in the day because it's not today. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that it holds off for the rest of the festival here. Always a pleasure to have on with us one of our favorite guests on the show, Fairfield Today, and then here on Lancaster Festival Live, too, the mayor, Dave Scheffler. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Paul. Happy to be here.
Thank you. I believe this will be the final time on Lancaster Festival Live that I'll be able to say, and now here's Mayor Dave Scheffler. What'd we say, 156 days?
156 days. You can still say mayor, but because
I do say that with Dave Smith. I do call him the mayor.
It is common to call mayors forever.
Sure. They talk about presidents being presidents, not former.
Governors, senators, etc. Yes.
So this day, this event, Lancaster Festival, I know is one of your favorite times to be mayor of Lancaster, because all this art and everything that goes on here, that is just right up your alley.
Sure. It's a wonderful celebration for Lancaster, not only of arts, but reunions of people coming back to town. So I get to see a lot of people you don't see very often.
Yeah.
And, Art Walk was amazing with all the people down here. And I've heard some say that it was the biggest crowd ever. I don't have any way to gauge that, but I know there were a lot of people down here. The weather was perfect.
Yeah.
And everything went very smoothly. So
I remember a couple of them, this had been several years ago, they have been so brutally hot. There were just some that were terrible, but as you indicated, I don't know that we could have had a more perfect evening than what we had Friday night, and everything indicated, all the businesses, and they were just all packed.
Yes, they were. Sunny, low humidity, lots of food, lots of adult beverages out and about.
I've heard rumors of that.
Yes.
Is there any place you particularly like to go? I know I had on Ed Kitchen yesterday, and Ed is one of my personal favorites, being a classmate kind of person with him, and he's right up there by you.
Well, likewise. I always enjoy seeing Ed's art, but also across the street, Jim Gherkin. And,
tremendous.
Yeah, and Mark.
Dr. Mark.
Dr. Mark.
He's right in there with
Jim Gherkin.
Jim
Yeah, he's in there with
at
Jim
Fairfield
Gherkin.
Federal.
Both of those guys are certainly well-known artists. But, every venue has something new and different, and it's just a pleasure to get around and see all of them.
So in the course of a week, do you try to at least hit them all once just to go around? I know you can't hit everything on Friday night, but do you try to visit more throughout the week?
Yeah, I didn't get to hit any on Friday night. It took an hour and a half to walk from my building beside City Hall down to Center Alley. Everybody wants to stop and chat. But, yeah, I get around to the various businesses. I certainly don't get into all of them.
Sure.
Because I do still have a job, and it keeps me busy, and a lot of the businesses close at 5 or 6 o'clock, so I can't get there during normal business hours. So, but I get around to a lot of them. Yeah.
Lancaster Mayor Dave Scheffler is our guest here on Lancaster Festival Live, and let's get back to your daytime job. I guess the one thing that's pretty consistent that we always chat about are the streets. Anything to go, good or bad on that? That always seems to be the topic.
Well,
Either talk to me about that, Paul, or don't talk to me about the streets.
No, I'm always happy to talk about streets because we're making wonderful progress in knocking them down, getting them resurfaced. This year's summer paving program is pretty much complete. They may have some casting adjustments to do yet, but the planning will start in probably a couple of months for next year's streets, and because of the passage of the 3 mil levy in May, we'll have a little more money next year than we had this year, so we can take care of a few more streets. So
I would guess, and I think I've heard you talk at different venues about that the cost of paving probably has gone up dramatically in the last couple of years.
Oh yeah, boy, I forget the numbers, but from when we first started back in 2014, I think the cost of asphalt has gone up something like 8 or 10 times, 8 or 10 multiples, and certainly labor and equipment costs and all that have gone up too. So compared to 2014, we can do a lot fewer streets now than we could then, but the little boost that we're going to get from the new 3 mil levy will help that a lot. But we got most of the high traffic streets done, so we're now out in the neighborhoods, and again, it's all dependent on pavement condition rating, average daily traffic count. We're going to tear up the street in a couple of years for new underground water, sewer, or gas lines, and also do we have funding from somewhere else that might be used to do a street? So no sense in using city money if we've got state and federal money available to do those streets. We can do more of the ones that we're responsible for.
So you're into what, December 31?
December 31st.
Okay, so you're there. Is there anything, if you could wave a magic wand, and I don't want to, because I'm going to have you back on the show, and we're going to have a whole half hour to talk about things, so I don't want to blow up my cover now with everything. But if you were the king for a day, and I know you're not because you're just the mayor, so if you were king for a day and you could wave your magic wand, is there anything you'd like to get solved that you haven't been able to solve in your time?
Sure.
How many years?
It'll be 6 years.
6 years, yeah. Okay.
Housing, certainly housing. Lancaster plus every other city not
so the
only
growth
in
that
Central
we're
Ohio,
seeing
but in
not
the
nearly
country.
keeping up.
No, we are way behind, especially in affordable housing. But we are currently working with 15 developers, talking to them, encouraging them to come here and do a development. We have a list of sites available, and we have a lot of interest. Lancaster is a growing great place. Incomes are going up, and we have a lot of potential for economic development projects. Service Solutions is going to break ground in a couple of weeks on their $200 million addition to their plant out on Quarry Road, and that whole trend isn't going to stop, but we need places for people to live, and especially for affordable places.
I only got about 30 seconds left, so I'll just say the place out behind Lowe's out there, Timber Top, it's amazing the change that occurred there. And then when I drive on 33, I don't see much of it because it's kind of behind the Burger Chef and the KFC.
Yeah.
But that whole housing development back in there, these are a couple big deals.
Yes, Timber Top, the Bend development at Timber Top, the Flats on Memorial, the East School development by Fairfield Homes. But there are lots. Hopefully we'll have maybe 3 or 4 more announcements before the end of the year about housing coming to town. So we're happy about that.
Well, we appreciate you're making the long trek over here. Have you eaten yet, or are you going to go?
I have not eaten yet, and I have another meeting at 1:30.
Well,
so
I'll get you out of here, and I appreciate your coming over.
Always happy to be here, Paul.
Mayor David Scheffler will get you back on the show soon to talk about all this. Mayor David
Looking forward
Scheffler,
to it.
last Lancaster Festival for him as the mayor. So you're going out with a bang. This looks like a good one. Congratulations. We'll be back on Lancaster Festival Live in just a moment. That was the aforementioned Lancaster Festival Orchestra Ensemble. They were on stage over here at the Zane Square right behind us. A good crowd to hear them. The clip was brought to you by the good folks at Fairfield County Parks District. Come experience forest bathing at Waukena Nature Preserve. You can walk the trails at Smeck Park in Baltimore or Manberg Park just outside of Lancaster. Visit Rock Mill on a milling day and you can see how corn was ground back in the 1800s. Get creative with others who enjoy art at their Plain Art in the park sessions. Get out and explore and discover those and other programs at your Fairfield County Parks. And they can be found easily at fairfieldcountyparks.org. Let's take a look at the calendar. And lots of things still coming up. We're just past the midpoint. We've still got today, rest of today, Friday, and then Saturday, and everything going on there. This calendar is brought to you by the Walker Shoe Center. It's a true sit-down, get your feet measured store located at 737 East Main Street. So here we go. This afternoon, later today, the Festival Low Brass Quintet. Love them. They're going to be down at Keller Market, and they'll be down there at 4 o'clock. At 5:30 this evening, the final happy hour concert of this year takes place at Ale House 1890. And then later tonight, it's the Chamber Music Classics Trio Labist. 2 chamber music classics are heard along with 2 musical gems. In that concert, the Chamber Music Classics begins at 7 o'clock at First Presbyterian Church. Let's move on to Friday. Tomorrow, Major Arts for Minors. That's Pottery Day, Day 2, at the Decorative Arts Center just up the hill from us here. That starts at 10 a.m. tomorrow. At the same time, Children's Corner, featuring ML Dance Academy. Their incredible talent will take place on the Zane Square stage. That's behind us over by the gazebo. And then finally tomorrow at noon, the final bandstand event down here, it's the Wayfarers. They fuse tight musicianship with high energy. So look for them on stage tomorrow at Zane Square, the Wayfarers. So we want to thank you for watching Lancaster Festival Live today. We have one more full day coming up tomorrow. Going to be exciting. Hope you can join us. Remember, you can watch all these programs that we talked about today live tomorrow at noon, and then on replay right here on Spectrum Channel 1021, or the CLN Your Hometown Connection YouTube channel, or by going to the Interface Video Facebook page and click on their live link. So we want to thank Mary Snyder and Dave Uhl and Jay Batters and the mayor, Dave Scheffler, for joining us today. A good Thursday program. We'll be back tomorrow at noon. Have a great day and be safe out there.
Fairfield Federal, in cooperation with Interface Video, presents the Lancaster Festival, live from downtown. Also brought to you by the Frank E. Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield DD, Buckeye Toyota, Fair Hope Hospice, Walker Shoe Center, Personal Touch Party Rentals, Fairfield Parks, Buckeye Lake Marina, and Dagger Law.